Now, for a good couple of years, I've been listening to Eric July, aka Young Ripper, hint at the possibility of, in his own words, one day showing the big two how it's done. Now, why did he say that and what did he mean? Well, it's probably easier to let my fellow YouTubers show you.
The comic book industry has been overrun by what we call SJWs. They are activists who seek to change entertainment into propaganda. And they will tolerate no dissent.
I feel like every comic book writer is trying to ram their political agenda down your throat.
Would you please get your politics out of my comic books? I'm like, what comic books are you reading?
Spider-Man, Captain America, Snowflake, and Safe Space.
Terms that they don't see as derogatory, to take those words and kind of wear them as badges of honor.
This is L'Oreal, Captain Marvel's half-sister. Very, very appealing character, wouldn't you say?
Wait a minute, something ain't right.
Screen Time is an internet kid. As a youth, he was exposed to his grandfather's experimental internet gas.
Internet gas.
We're doing a story about teenage rebels.
And then Kid Spectrum. Look at that costume and judge for yourself.
I thought it was a joke.
Facial features. I mean, she just... say it's very masculine looking She-Hulk. As you can see there, I mean, there's a lot to unpack in this picture.
A Marvel Voices Iceman series, and there was something about it, specifically the cover, that really kind of creeped me out.
There's been a concerted effort to make Captain Marvel androgynous for quite some time.
Oh, look, it's Jay.
Yeah, I know. I know, right?
So much talent out there in indie comics. Why aren't they working at the big two? Because this is awful.
The fact that this character appears to be 10 years old, and if we're being generous, we might want to say that maybe Bobby Drake Iceman looks like he's 12 here, I think is very, very, very creepy.
It's problematic if it's upsetting to your delicate constitution.
This is like a little boutique business for Disney. They don't care if Marvel makes money.
What DC Comics, or as some people are calling them, degenerate comics, are doing to Superman is truly, truly sickening.
And it's certainly implied that Superman is sexually assaulted while in captivity during a previous story that had been told.
He was taken advantage of daily for 8 months.
I don't even have words anymore. Like, it is very clear that DC Comics has a death wish at this point.
From Marvel Voices, Pride #1, look at the goofy faces they're making. Nobody runs to buy this, but hey, they'll get a Newsweek article or possibly an article from CBR.
Experimental internet gas.
Cyclops and Wolverine having a little bit of playtime on the moon.
This is what we have to look forward to in comic books in America.
Don't think we're worried about being dated. I think we're way more interested about being now.
We all love Star Wars, but we're all coming in from very different places.
Leox Jossi is the eccentric pilot of a vessel known simply as the Vessel.
The vessel's called the Vessel.
This is as on the nose as they've ever been.
This has been a very free environment for everybody to just throw things out there.
So this rock?
Yeah.
Oh, this is like Groot, right?
No, I think it's just a rock.
Actual rock?
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy, what have you done?
Leox Gyasi is an anagram for an actual historical figure. Leo the 10th is gay. He even, historians will tell you, had ordered a group to go and assassinate or murder Martin Luther.
Oh, I can't even. I don't know how that got through. It's so bad. I don't know why they thought that was okay. I can't.
Are you okay, Marvel? Blink twice if you're not being forced to come up with this shit.
I kid you not. And you look at the design, the dude has high shorts on for no reason.
Pretty much says where this comic book industry is going to go in the future.
Safe Space is kind of a big, burly, sort of stereotypical jock. He can create force fields, but he can only trigger them if he's protecting somebody else. Snowflake is non-binary and goes...
Trying to take what exists in the real world and simply replicate it and put it in like a comic book form.
They just continue to prove us right every single day.
A new miniseries written by a Hollywood superstar that's about a superhero whose power is her period.
This is what kids are gonna be reading? What? What?
This is bullshit. And now you have headlines like this. Marvel Comics draws fire for stereotypical depiction of Miles Morales Thor, Hood Asgard, in latest issue of What If.
Everybody's favorite tokenized character, Peter Darker.
They made him say, hammer time.
So Miles Morales, because Miles Morales is black, if he was Thor, would live in the ghetto.
It's the most racist crap I ever read.
This is essentially just dehumanizing black people as a whole. That's what it's doing.
Alright, y'all, it's time for a non-legal opinion. Fat Wonder Woman is stupid.
I'm gonna make the books that I want to make, and if you don't want to read them, don't read them.
And when DC Comics decided to do this to Superman, a lot of people came out and said this is not going to work out the way you think it is.
I'm Not Starfire comes off as a self-indulgent, self-insert character of epic proportions.
That's why this is a self-insert character. It is her taking her literal, real-life experience, changing almost nothing about it, and then making this character just basically be her in the Star Wars universe.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse will echo the comics and feature a pregnant Spider-Woman saving the day as the worst mother in history, putting her baby in danger, but that's okay. That's okay.
Reviews for I'm Not Starfire, they're pretty hilarious. 2.73 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, 2.5 out of 5 stars on Amazon. This is a Tumblr rant with illustrations.
I don't know who gave the green light on this, but it was obviously someone who was not interested in making money.
The apparent point to the story is, be a garbage person and your dreams will all come true and everyone will love you in the end. What?
You can't look at this now and say, okay, this is a conspiracy. You can't.
I'm sorry to break this to you, but Captain America is a social justice warrior.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
They don't care about your business model. They don't care about your characters.
This company is a shadow of what it used to be.
It sounds like they're doing it out of spite.
That's what this is. Fuck you to the people that are into that shit, which you can only do in a good economy.
Being a comic book collector for over 30 years and recently stopping collecting comics about 5 years ago whenever I noticed how woke the medium was getting, especially in the American comics.
What my academic friends like to call the normative comic book reader.
Yeah, and it shows me that Marvel just truly doesn't give a shit.
I'm not a fan, and I just don't enjoy it.
I don't know. What is this? This is garbage.
I hate it. I hate it, hate it, hate it.
Don't read them.
The American comic book industry is dead.
They're telling you exactly where their politics are.
And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book.
Really?
Problem solved.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser! The ongoing, growing divide between customers and companies in the anime and comic book industry. And
they openly hate Christians. They mock religion constantly.
And as we can see, we have yet another article here. Woke Superman tanks confirmed. DC Comics sales nosedive again in January.
She immediately regretted telling people not to buy her books.
The industry has contracted and we're very worried about comics right now.
Like now, people better love your shit. You don't get to just troll them.
Right, good point.
You know?
Right. It's going to be harder to sell things.
Western comics are dying, and at this point it seems that all of the wounds are self-inflicted.
Manga's not having any trouble though. They've pretty much taken over the American comic book market.
This is graphic novels basically for the month of April, starting April 4th through May 1st. Not a single American comic book is on the top 20.
And it doesn't look like it's going to slow down anytime soon.
The French government launched a smartphone app that gave 300 euros to every 18-year-old in the country for cultural purchases like books and music. And they're not buying high culture, they're buying manga. France's teenagers flock to buy manga.
Don't read them. Everything in the mid-list is way down. Numbers that used to be numbers that would get you canceled are now
like, no, that's a hit, you know. Independent books making back the cost of doing floppies is like names that should be able to do it no sweat are going into the red.
By looking at My Hero Academia, it tells me that people still want superhero stories, but where aren't they getting them? They're not getting them from the X-Men. If you go read an X-Men comic right now, they're at a damn dinner party for 12 issues.
For the weirdos that don't read comic books and think that I just make the videos and I'm just over-exaggerating things, I'm gonna need you to shut the hell up.
They pretty much love that the industry is wrapped around their little finger and they can just do whatever they want, and they want to keep it that way. And everyone knows if you've got a monopoly, you don't want any sort of competition.
Here comes a new challenger.
I'm Eric July, founder, owner, and writer. Welcome to the Rippaverse.
The Rippaverse aims to take us back to a time when we lived in a saner world that wasn't trying to physically change us against our will. A time when being a hero was celebrated, it was an ideal to live up to, and escapism was still a thing. Dipping his own hand deep into his own pocket to pay for the hundreds of thousands of dollars needed to get this show on the road makes it abundantly clear just how confident he is in his vision. And with already $2.5 million raised, it's pretty evident to see he's not alone in that assessment. And yeah, there's going to be those that come out to hate, fully supporting what Marvel and DC have done up until now. But for the rest of us, a creative spark has been lit deep within us. There's an almost tangible feeling that something special has just been birthed. Last time I felt this way about comics was way back when Image was first launched. And there's a whole wealth of talent out there, both professional and amateur, who I just know should and when they get on board to help this project even outdo that one in terms of success and impact. The sheer amount of backers that stretch right across the racial demographic has already exposed modern day media's slanted perspective on the racial state of society and fandom today. And if there's one thing the modern day world at large despises in this day and age, it's unity. So sharpen your pencils, reassemble those easels, let's get creating.